Hello, this is Joshua at Gongs Unlimited with the new unlimited Seaside C-stand to hold gongs and to frame self-portraits by the seaside, a sea. And this is a C-stand similar to other gong stands, C-stands made of tube steel frames. But in my working opinion, better than the rest. It's a really great design, really simple to assemble, disassemble, and a very stable, very strong stand, and a really elegant foot that hits the ground and all of that stability. It has a nice profile, a nice look, and again, in my opinion, is new and improved and better than other C-stands that I've worked with. The Unlimited Seaside C-stand is really easy to assemble. All of the parts received will be the C-frame in the C-stand, two of the feet structure, and two bolts with two washers and the hex wrench to tighten those bolts, which makes this a very simple, user-friendly assembly. And so tipping it upside down, the feet structure are the same on both sides. So one, and it has this heavy piece of metal that wraps it that will match the same U-shaped piece of steel here, and the U meets the U, and they just match in together like a simple assembly given direction. The bolt, and you might start with putting the washer right onto the bolts, because the washer goes up against the back of the bolt head. So bolt with washer, and just place it through the hole, and you might wiggle this around a little bit until it finds its seat, and then hand tighten that, and then we will rotate to the other side. Hand tighten it, and then with the hex wrench, I'm going to slightly tighten, but not too tight, just slightly, so it sets in. And that is pretty much the Seaside C-stand. And I like to, because I didn't over tighten that bolt on the bottom, I like to make sure once all 4 feet are on the surface, the ground, the table, that all 4 are set well onto the ground, so there's no wobble. And once that's confirmed, I put a little weight at the base. I take the small side of the hex wrench and find that bolt, and I give it an extra finish tighten. And there we go, the Unlimited Seaside C-stand, which holds gong size 20, 22, and 24 inch. And I will put all 3 of those gongs on here to give a demonstration of how the frame fits each of those gongs. Starting with a 20 inch gong with a extra margin around because it's the smaller of the sizes, but that is the frame for the 20 inch. Then I have 22 inch Dark Star, .22 inch, and then the 24 inch, which is choked up a bit on the cord, the gong cord. In a moment, I'll demonstrate what I mean by choked up, but the cord for this to fit in the frame is tightened up. And then always pull the gong to level, which levels the chords on the gong, but it also centers the gong into the C of the frame. And that is a 24 inch wind gong on the Unlimited Seaside C-stand. So, if you are using the Unlimited Seaside C-stand for the 24 inch gong, or probably the 22, you might have to adjust the cord that hangs the gong, which is quite simple. And the cord is tied to a relative and general length for hanging a gong. It's not an absolute or a given, and retying, untying that gong cord is definitely allowed. You'll typically get, and this is a 24-inch wind gong, and this is a general height of holding that the cord. But then when you put it on your C stand, the stand will be, it will not fit because it's hanging too low to the C. So I'm going to just retie the knot on the back, and you can just pull. You don't even have to untie the existing knot. You're just gonna retie a new knot. So I'm gonna pull the rope in and hold with my finger the cord so it holds temporarily. And I'm gonna set it into the stand in a temporary way. And I still have this end of the cord, so I can actually pull up and down, and like you're focusing a camera, set the exact height. But as you pull this up and down, make sure each check that you re-level the two holes in the gong so it's set in the center. And I can go up or down, and wherever it starts to feel like, oh, it's a perfect frame, hold this, put a finger on the back side to catch that. Take it off, my finger is still there. And where my finger is, I'm gonna pinch in the same spot. So I know right at that pinch is where I want the knot to be. And I'm just gonna make a regular overhand or figure 8 knot and retie the cord. And I'm just going to kind of like push, milk that knot until it's right at that spot where I had it pinched. And don't tighten it too tight until you test that the knot is actually in the same spot. But you'll feel for a 24-inch gong that the cord is slightly or tight. And then level, and look at that. Beautifully framed 24-inch gong. And the knot on the back, you'll probably want to come back, holding both sides, and then tighten it. That's right where we want it to be. And then you can, and you probably should, just with scissors, cut the extra cord in the back. You can leave it if you're wanting to go back to a different stand. But if it gets too long, you'll have something in the back of the gong that'll make a sound as you play. So once you get that knot at the size, the spacing that you want, just cut it off, and you might even heat it a little bit to fuse the ends from fraying. And that is the Unlimited Seaside C-Stand for 20-inch, 22-inch, and 24-inch gongs.